Welcome to High Gorgeous Clay and Conversations, where we shape clay and touch hearts. Today I am joined by the lovely Debbie Willifeer. I have with me Debbie Willifeer, or is it Oliver in English?
Olivier.
So, welcome Debbie Willifeer. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I was looking forward to this appointment of us. You are a mother, an artist, a designer, a painter, a worshipper. Is there something you cannot do? Can it
Anything with maths.
Me too. I'm not a numbers girl. But what a privilege for me to know you. We've been journeying a few years now, and I can just learn from you. You have so much wisdom and the purest heart that I've ever seen in a friend. So it is a privilege for me to have you with me this morning.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
And you need no introduction on the clay earrings because you've been at one of my workshops, but you have not done a Women of Worth yet. So I'm going to just show you the ropes on that one, refresh your memory, and then we're gonna shape clay and change hearts today.
That sounds great.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So you can choose your colors. If I can give you a hint, do something purplish, because in your box there's something I envisioned for you, and it needs to be purple.
Okay, I love purple.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of my best colors.
Wow. Okay. So go for the purple. There's a few shades, and then I'm going to do something different. So you can start with your selection, and remember the Women of Worth is a 3-piece earring because it's for the Son and Holy Spirit. And then you've got this is going to be the bottom part, and then you choose your middle part.
Nice.
And you choose your top part from these ones. And you can do a hanging, you can do a stud, or you can do a ring.
Okay, great.
So you can look through those. I'm going to do these. You can start.
I'm going to do these ones. Or should I mix them together?
I like it because that'll be the center and that'll be the focus, but you need a bit more of the purple.
Okay.
And then what will your middle part going to be? Is it going to be this or a circle? This one is also quite nice. It's like a leafy.
Oh, that's pretty. I'm actually thinking I'm going to take this.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. It's going to be Satan earrings.
Okay, I'm going to take that.
Yes.
I like that.
Cool. Yeah, and then you can start blending. So our theme is creating in the chaos.
I am an expert at that.
You told me, but I think all of us have a type of chaos. So Debs, how do you find God? Like when the chaos comes in various forms, where do you find God?
I guess so. I try and find Him just in everything. So even in the moments that feel, I actually was thinking of it now. You're speaking about the clay and how it's already got its own shape in that. But that's exactly what chaos does. So like if we get into God's hands and He molds us and softens us and all of that, and then puts us through this pressure, like for me, that's what chaos is. It's a forming and molding in the pressure, and just knowing that He is constantly there, and I think it's just being aware of Him in every moment, and whatever life throws at us, knowing that He's busy with something. He's busy forming something in me, and if something's bothering me in the chaos, I need to actually look at myself and ask what is triggering inside of me that's making me feel this, because that's not in line with who God is. So I think it also depends, how does a person view chaos and what is chaos to you? But just knowing that if I can say in the mess of everything, God is busy creating and forming. And just knowing that it doesn't matter like where I am right now or what's happening, He's busy with something. So I think it's just knowing I don't always see the bigger picture in the mess of things or the chaos, but knowing that he is busy with something, and I just need to actually stay like flexible and soft like this so that he can work and mold what he needs to.
Sure. Wow, that's true. That's so true. And it's beautiful. Wow. And only in relationship with God will you know that it's not the end. Your mess and your chaos is that don't need to put it in a box.
That's like my mom's actually got this saying. So she says emptiness doesn't come from too much hardship. It comes from too much pleasure.
Wow.
And actually knowing, like, if I have to think of chaos, like that God's got something deeper in it. And just because I maybe see chaos as mess or as being uncomfortable, it just means that I need to change the way I'm viewing it and how I experience it. So if it's really like agitating or irritating me, I really need to ask myself why, because that's not in God's like process or design, but it's maybe just that it's uncomfortable.
Sure. Oh, wow. I can listen to you all day long because you've got so much wisdom. And motherhood feels chaotic.
It is.
Like with so many kids, you've got 4, I've got 3. Have you ever had the question, how do you do it with all your kids? If I got like £1 for every time somebody asked me that question, and I'm just like, you know what? This is the cards that was dealt to me by God, and I'm going to deal with them as best I can. So with your kids, with your chaos, how do you do it?
I have this joke when people come and visit us. I'm like, welcome to our beautiful chaos.
Yeah.
Because it is. Whenever, I'm sure like with you as well, but whenever people come over, it feels absolutely chaos. And then this one's talking, this one's running around, this one's like tugging on you, mom, and you're trying to have a conversation in between. Yeah. I think, you know what, I also have been thinking, like, one of the biggest privileges, it is like the hand that's been dealt to us, and it's actually such a privilege. Like, I had to completely change my mindset because I had kids really young. I used to see it as like a duty or a chore a lot of the times, or the things you have to do, or like the sacrifices. But then I realized it's a privilege to have dishes to wash. It's a privilege to have clothes to wash, and just change your mindset. It's not a duty, it's a privilege.
Absolutely. You don't have to have it, you get to have it. You get to raise kids. You get to impact the next generation. And I mean, we've served together in Kids Church, and I can always just stand in awe at your love for kids and the way you embrace them and the way you look into, not into their eyes, but into their little hearts. And I've learned so much from you in Kids Church, actually. And I think motherhood changes us, because you need to let go of who you are, and that's where strength and identity plays a really important part. Because if you don't know who you are, how will you mother your kids? How will you establish identity in them?
So I love what you are saying, because even driving here, I was thinking that's one of the things that really gets to me as well, always difficult, is seeing that we've got so many parents who are actually wounded children.
Sure.
And they are trying to parent their own children through those wounds. But inside, it's like this little child that's trapped in a grown body and trying to parent through that. So if you're not rooted in what God's made you to be and what He says about you, you are going to act out of the wounds and the past traumas and all of that.
Sure. It's on the days that feels hectic. It's work, it's kids, it's everything in between, it's life. And stuff falls through the cracks. Guilt, there's overwhelming feelings. So at the end of the day, you were like, I needed to do that. Oh, I forgot about that. How do you deal with that?
I always have this thing, well, 2 things. I was actually talking to someone this morning about, but choosing your battles.
Yes.
I'm very, very, very like hectic on that. And then also what steals your joy for today? Or what steals your peace, and is it really worth it? So often there'll be, like, we always have little things that slip through the cracks, or things I haven't gotten to, but then it's like, is this really worth? Because firstly, it's going to change my mood, which is going to affect the atmosphere in the home. It's going to affect how I handle the kids, and am I irritable with them, or am I still gracious? But actually, am I gracious with myself? That's the question.
Wow.
Because like, that can always overflow onto our home situation, which is unhealthy, and it's not obviously what God wants. So I'll try as far as possible to approach things with, like, is this a battle I want to fight today? And if most of the time the answer is a no, and then I'll just, like, okay, it is what it is, and I'm just going to pick up and carry on again. Or if it's something that's really stealing my peace, like a typical example would be, say I want to sit and do something like this, or a craft, or paint, or even play piano, and then Shekinah's always like, Mom, as soon as I start. And often I'll find I get very irritated in the moment, and then I'm like, is that really what God wants? Like, does He want her to see my creativity as a hindering, or is it something that's actually flexible and, like, moldable, and
you invite her into that creative space?
Yes, it is actually such a part of making your kids feel part of it, and included in everything. Because I don't ever think anyone in our family should feel excluded when things are chaotic, or when we are busy with a hobby, or when we are ministering. I always think, like, we have to make our family part of it. So in the moments of chaos, I will just ask myself that, is this a battle I want to fight? And is this something that's stealing my peace and joy right now? Or is it actually helping the situation or the environment? Because if we think about it, the enemy always brings these little distractions to throw us off. And it can be the smallest thing. And it has the most impact for the day. And once our, like, atmosphere is set for the day, you kind of sit in that. So just being aware of it.
Yes, to be aware. Absolutely. That's beautiful. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So you can put this is going to be your bottom part. Okay, cool. This is, nice.
Does it go like that?
Yes.
Okay.
And remember to powder before we.
Thank you.
Yes.
This
you put it in the powder. You dip it. Awesome. And then you put it in.
Thank you. You're doing a nice recap with me.
So how's the painting going, and when last did you do a mural? Because your murals are really beautiful.
Thanks. I did one, I think, about 6 weeks ago. I guess, you know what, you can bring this whole thing into that as well, because I often will look at, like, a mural, for example, and wonder how it's going to turn out. And it's the same with, like, anything creative that you do. You start something and you think, I either can't see the bigger picture of this, or how is it going to turn out? And if we just keep on with things, like, they actually always turn out well in the end. And so I always use my murals as well, or if I paint something, just to remind me that, you know what, it doesn't look great in the beginning, but it's just the layering and everything that actually makes up this beautiful piece in the end.
You see the finished product when you step into a room, but you don't know the mistakes that went in, the change of course, because you envision something from the start, and how it actually ends up looking maybe something different, but actually more beautiful than you envisioned in the first place.
Exactly.
So that's nice. But you're also creative, and your workshops, I mean, you do the paper flowers, and you do the watercolor, and you do mugs. What was that?
Oh no, so that one got postponed. We didn't actually do that.
Oh, okay.
So it's just we make like the really large giant paper flowers.
Yes.
Which I also love, because I always tell the ladies, if you picture yourself like in God's hands, a woman is not just made up of one, or a flower is not made of one petal. Some are still blooming and sprouting out, and some are already out. And as a woman, we are made of all these beautiful petals that God's, like, placed inside of us. So many different facets of our life. That is something beautiful and fragrant to the people around us. So So I love the paper flowers because it always reminds me that we're not just one thing. We are made up of so many different beautiful things.
And it's a process, like the blooming process. There's quite like a big message behind it, because the temperature, the season, where you are planted, what type of flower you are, the fragrance.
It's very, actually,
it's quite deep.
What you're talking about is something I wanted to also just touch on today.
Yes.
Is the nurturing and the nature side, because I've often asked God, what is it about women that make them like really so special and beautiful? But it's like that we are such nurturers. And that's like exactly what our kids need, because you get the nature side of it, so like the DNA we are born with and what we made up of from a physical point of view. But then you get the nurturing side, which is our situations, circumstances, and the things that actually like push up into who we are naturally. And so it's actually so important that we are correctly nurtured and that we nurture our kids correctly, because otherwise the wrong nurturing can also hinder someone from like reaching their fullness later on. Or it can hinder us as well. If we are not nurturing ourselves or placing ourselves in nurturing environment, we can have all this anointing or gifting, but we can still be crushed because we haven't been nurtured correctly. And yeah, that's why I think as a mom especially, it's so important to take time to do that. Like this.
Absolutely. Therapy. Speaking about being creative, you are a multi-talented person. I mean, when your hands touches something, it like blooms and blossoms and is always wow. Have you ever felt like depleted in your creativity, and there was this expectation of you to do something and to create something, but just feel like depleted? Like, how are you going to do this? Where do you find your inspiration, your strength again to start to create again?
It's a good question. I think very often, sure, I'm trying to think. Because I often actually do feel like that, say now I've been given something to do that is creative or artistic, or I will often feel like I really just don't have the strength today to handle this, or like a lot of the time I will reach a point where I feel like, okay, I've got nothing to give, like whether it's creatively or emotionally or mentally, but then I keep reminding myself that God has equipped me, and actually it's the exact place I believe that God wants us to be in, because we can't take any of the credit then, because anything that comes out of us can only be Him.
Yes.
But I even would like take it a step further and think like one of the most beautiful places we get to create is in our own family and in our children. Like if you think as children are getting big, we are creating something in them. So we can either create them to be broken, or we can create them to be these beautiful masterpieces that are confident and know who they are in God and know that they have a safe space and know that they are loved. And often I will go into even the motherhood thing and think, I've got nothing to give today, or like I don't have any capacity to sit and play, but we do. Like God, if we take it back to God, and I know like I bring that up a lot, but it really is the only way, like just keeping on staying focused on God and trusting Him. You know what? Right now I don't feel this. Our feelings deceive us very much and they are not the truth. But then taking it back to Him and just saying, this is what I feel, but the truth is you have given me the capacity. You have said I am this and this, and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I think one other thing is I try and have fun along the way, or laugh at silly things.
Yes.
Because life shouldn't be so serious the whole time. So often I will crack jokes with the kids, or like with Fran, I'll play a prank on him, or just because I can.
Yes.
But life shouldn't be serious. God's got a sense of humor, and just having a good laugh in between things actually lightens the moment so much.
Motherhood in the chaos. What has motherhood developed in you?
I would say actually just knowing that I'm stronger than I think, and yeah, like I think it's so easy to doubt yourself as a mom, and we always think, oh, I'm not sure I'm cut out for this, or I don't know if I have what it takes, but knowing that like that God has gifted you with it, which means that He's given you everything you will need for it.
Yes.
I think it's taught me really the essence of the gospel, which is to serve and be selfless. And even if it is, I mean, Christ served us to the point of death. And I'm not saying motherhood does that to us, but I think in our souls and flesh it is. Like,
you die to yourself.
Yes.
You're putting someone else's needs first.
Always. And I think as a mom, you always will put other people's needs or your children's needs or your husband's needs above your own the whole time. And yeah, so I would say that's the biggest thing it has taught me, is just that absolute selflessness. And thinking like, oh no, but I'm going to, and we should take moments for ourselves, because we do need to nurture ourselves. But thinking like, if I think, oh, you know what, I'm not going to do this today because I deserve time for myself, but just reminding yourself that it's, again, you get to serve your family. It's a privilege. It's not a like, oh no, I have to. So it's just staying, like I will always tell my kids, everything's got positives and negatives, and you can choose which one you focus on in a situation. Because there's always an up and there's always a down. And the other thing is that I often say is, everything in life comes at a cost of something else, and make sure that that cost is worth it.
Sure. Oh wow, Debs. Oh, that's beautiful. Like you can dust off the face. Oh, the purple is gonna be so beautiful.
Sure, I really like that.
And she's gorgeous, eh?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, cool. So then you can put your 2 pieces in the plate. Just bring out the knife a bit more. Just be careful, it's sharp. And then remember to remember to the edges.
Thank you.
To finish off the edges with your fingers. So
that's round.
Yeah, so the smoothness at the end is important, and then we can put in the holes for you before we bake.
It's actually such a beautiful process if you think like, I don't know with you, but it makes me think how like God molds us in the fine details. If you think of just the little crevices in the edges and how He takes us and molds us the same.
Yes. Beautiful. Oh, I love the purple.
That is very
pretty. It's going to be so nice. So we have brainstormed. Our second clay that we're going to do is a bookmark.
Ooh.
So you are going to go with the white and the grey, and I'm going to go for the gradient of green and yellow, something bright.
I love it.
Yes, it's something different. Yes, you can start your conditioning, and then we're gonna, it's my first time also using this, so it's either a hit or a miss. So Debs, when your kids are all grown up, what do you hope they remember about you?
I would say probably, I guess like the standard answer of that they were loved. But really, really knowing they were loved, because I think a lot of children grow up in homes where it's not a safe space for them, or they don't feel comfortable enough to talk to their parents about things. But I think it's up to us to cultivate that environment and not freak out. Like I often think back to when I was, let's say, a teenager, and I was in such a mess in life. So I look at my teenagers and I'm like, yo, they are actually phenomenal and doing so well. But I also realize it's just creating that environment where they can say, Mom, I did this and this, and it's not like, oh, how dare you, or what were you thinking? But to actually nurture them in that and say, you know what, it's okay. Like I've also messed up like that, and let me help you find a solution without biting their heads off. So I think just that they would know, you know what, my mom loved me well. And I guess this I might be failing a bit at, but being present.
Yes.
Because it's one thing, I think as moms, we've got so much going on in our minds that we can often, we're saying yes to things, but we're not actually hearing them. We're listening, but we're
Yeah.
not hearing them.
Yeah.
And so I think that would
Present parent.
yes. I think that would be
Absolutely.
the other thing, or two things. So to know that they were loved and felt safe, and that I was present.
Sure. So that's true, especially in today's day and age where you hurry with your own thoughts and your own responsibilities. So, yeah, that's quite true. So, Debs, what has chaos taught you that comfort never could?
I think just being absolutely reliant on God. Because I think when we are comfortable, when we are comfortable, we're not challenged in any way, right?
Sure.
So everything's very
Say that
easy.
again.
When we are comfortable, we are not challenged in any way. And I think like chaos removes you out of that comfort. And so everything inside of you gets challenged, whether it's your triggers or your irritation or your feelings or your moods or your thoughts. It's constantly like confronted and challenged. And
Sure.
so I would say just being absolutely dependent on God. Because I must tell you, if we are living comfortably, I'm not as dependent on God because I'm more self-sufficient,
Yes.
which is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But when things are hard, and I think it's just a human trait, when things are difficult, God's always the first one we run to. But when we are comfortable, it's kind of like, no, I've got this, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So I think just to keep running to God, and again knowing that we are stronger than what we think. Because often we go through things and you think, I'm not going to get through this, or it's too difficult, I'm at the end of myself. And actually you do get through, and the next day starts and you get through that, and just knowing that, wow, okay, actually God's made me really strong to take on whatever comes across our paths.
That's beautiful. You have so much wisdom, Debs. Oh, wow, that's nice. I love the marble. Oh, wow, that's nice. Okay, so we finish off this on the edges. It's quite a big piece.
Cool. I like it.
Me too. Something new being born from this episode. Just be careful when you cut the sides as well, because the
Wait.
oh yeah, do the dust powder.
Oh, how did you get it, Irma?
I didn't.
Okay, should I use the brush?
What is your words of encouragement for women watching to take into their own chaos?
I always see chaos as like similar to a tornado. And that's one thing, like God often talks to me through nature, and because I really think there's so much in His creation that actually we should be learning from. Because I often see like the symbolic meaning behind things, or like just the way something is done in nature that really ministers to me. And so I often look at like a tornado, for example, and how it's uprooting and uplifting everything around it. But if you actually go deeper in, there's always that eye in the middle where there is absolute complete peace, surprisingly. No,
Sure. The eye of the storm, is that where that phrase comes from?
Yes. So if you go into the center of a tornado, it's actually completely still and peaceful. And then obviously around it is the wind and chaos.
Sure.
But that, I guess in every situation, you need to find where that eye of the storm is, and it's always in God. And I'm very practical, so like, I love, like, yes, we talk spiritually and all of that, but how does that look practically? And I would say just finding the stillness in between the things in life, in between your daily routine, in the mess of things, finding that place of stillness. And it would look different for each person.
Yes.
But also, also what I spoke to you a bit earlier about, like, I was asking God, why do we cry? Because I have a thing against crying in front of people.
Mhm.
So I'm asking God to really help me, like, because I feel like it's a sign of weakness, and it's actually not.
Yeah.
Because I often would think like, but do you see crying in someone else as a sign of weakness? And I'm like, no, I actually really value their vulnerability and like their trust, and that they can be that open.
Yes.
So it's just in my head that it's like, for me, I may not. But I was asking God, well, why do we cry like in life? And I was reading this proverb the other day that said that crying blemishes the face, like meaning, you know, you get all puffy eyes and you look a bit like puffed up when you've had a good cry, but then it scars the heart, like it scrubs and cleans our hearts. So that's why crying is so necessary.
Sure.
And then, like, to take it a step further, I was thinking as well, like, the Spirit hovered over the waters or over the chaos, and actually the Hebrew meaning behind waters is chaos. And how when I see, like, when we cry, we're releasing that chaos out of our souls.
Yes.
And yeah, so just don't be afraid to be real and vulnerable.
That is really, Debs, that's deep. And I think a lot of women will view it differently, because in your state of vulnerability, the Holy Spirit can hover over you and it can embrace you and take that moment to be embraced, to be vulnerable.
Very, very true.
I love it. Are you winning?
Yeah, I'm using lots of concentration.
It's really different than earrings, ne?
It is.
Taking concentration to come into this little pieces and constructing the proportion. And keeping the proportion, actually. So I'm excited for the bookmarks.
Me too. I'm very actually interested to see
How the
product.
And this clay is so versatile. I mean, you can do so many things. I cut away my whole arch here, so I'm going to improvise and just, I don't know, give me a circle. I'm going to improvise now, and that's the beauty of the clay. It's versatile, and you can make your own.
I love what you're saying with improvising, because I'm like, actually so often in life we have to improvise.
Yes.
We have a certain idea of how it should be, and then it's not, and then
life happens.
Or else we improvise.
Oops. How else we are adaptable beings?
That's actually so beautiful. Like that we can be so adaptable.
Ne? And adaptability, there can be a whole episode on adaptability.
Definitely.
Because it's a journey, there's seasons, there's people, there's your own growth, there's it's actually something to delve into.
It really is, because I think it goes alongside change.
Yes.
And change is inevitable.
And people don't like change.
No.
But it's within the change that we grow and that we see we are able to adapt, we are able to grow.
So true.
Are you winning? Good.
I think so.
Yes. When we bake it, we will shape it into the perfect, Okay, cool. Well done. After we baked everything, I showed Debbie how to put her earrings together. Debbie reminded us that God is forming and molding us in the pressure of chaos. Some days feels only like chaos. That's where the real beauty happens. In the mess, the noise, the exhaustion, you can still create, you can still love, you can still rise. Debbie's fun questions. Are you nervous?
No, not actually.
You should be.
Not with you.
Damn it. Begin my goed. Okay. What are your most used emojis?
Like probably the pink flower and a smiley face.
Oh wow! Because you're friendly like that. If animals could talk, which one would you most want to have a conversation with and why?
Probably a gorilla.
A gorilla.
I love gorillas.
Really?
Why? I don't know, they just remind me of humans in some way, and they always look so wise, like they're deep in thought.
So, yeah, because they will sit. Gorillas. When you were a little girl, what did you want to be when you grow up?
I wanted to always just have an orphanage. That's my
Really?
dream
Like
job.
an orphanage, Debs?
That was my
Your
dream
heart
job.
of compassion.
And then
Oh
I
my
said to
word.
her, and then life happened.
Wow. What is your favorite store to browse in alone?
Just came.
Yeah. This game tells you what to buy. Would you rather be able to play 10 instruments or speak 10 languages?
Definitely 10 instruments.
If you could instantly be somewhere right now, right now, where would you have breakfast?
Probably in America.
Where?
Let's say Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Your favorite Afrikaans thing to say?
Dis nie ligte boere musiek nie. Is it funny?
It was like, I didn't expect something like that. And then, it's not written here, but I thought about it. When you drive, no, tell me you're a designer. When you drive, like by a billboard, if you drive for, okay.
Oh my word, I already know where this is going, y'all.
If you drive past the billboard, what gives you away as a designer?
The thing my kids always laugh at. What type of font is used there? Oh my word,
Yes.
that logo is terrible. And then they're like, Mom, really? And then I'm like, that font is Century Gothic. Mom, who cares?
Me too. I'm like, oh my word, did I have to use that font? But yeah, it's a designer thing.
It is.
Debs, what a privilege. Did you enjoy today?
I loved it. I really
What
loved
did you
it.
love most?
I think the conversation
Mm-hmm.
and just being able to talk and with you.
Be creative with me. This is a box that all of my guests receive, and I pack each box with love and care. So I hope that what is inside here will bless your heart. I know it's like a drop in the ocean compared to the blessing that you've been to people, seen and unseen. And I hope that this box blesses you today on a level that you really need and that you did not expect. You are a really, I'm going to get emotional, but when I think about you, I see the word compassion, because you move with the compassion that Jesus moved. When you invite people over for Christmas, strangers that you don't know, who does that? And you do it every single year. I see the post. You're alone on Christmas. I'll send you the time and the date and the venue. Just come have Christmas with us. So yeah, you are so special to me and so dear to me, and I'm really privileged to have you on Plain Conversations. So take this box and know that you are loved deeply and that you must feel blessed and appreciated and valued.
Thank you.
You are so precious.
You make me tear. And it's not chaos.
It's tears of joy.
Thank you so much. That's so cute.
It's a pleasure.
Was that open?
Yes.
Wow. This is amazing.
Chaos doesn't have to stop you. Mess doesn't have to break you. Even when life feels out of control, you can still make something beautiful. Remember, the chaos is temporary, but the strength you show in it will stay with you for a lifetime.